I started this program 7 months ago in July. Till now, 49 eminent personalities came into spotlight and shared their success stories. Today, we are presenting the 50th episode of Spotlight with Abha. On this occasion, I thank all the personalities who came onto this program and all my viewers who made this program a hit. My heartfelt gratitudes to all of you for making this show successful and famous. So here is my 50th episode of Spotlight with Abha. Hello, namaskar, adab, sasyakal, kasakai, kedohalai, kem cho. Once again, I'm here, Abha Jadhav, your favorite host for your favorite talk show on YouTube, Spotlight with Abha. With immense happiness and excitement, I'm welcoming you all to the 50th episode of your favorite talk show this time. So, friends, today we have an astounding personality with us. He is the director of DLLE, University of Mumbai, mobilizing extension activities in 285 degree colleges from Goa state border to Gujarat state border in 7 districts of Konkan region of India and 29,918 degree colleges of 29,918 degree college students and 600 degree college teachers, having community development projects in entrepreneurship, industry orientation, information technology, status of women in society, career project, and National Institute of Open Schooling, Government of India. He has introduced 13 market-oriented continuing education online courses for all the age group of community under e-learning center of University of Mumbai. Friends, with all due respect, help me present Adarniya Dr. Dilip Patil. Dr. Dilip Patil ji, namaskar and welcome to my show Spotlight with Abha.
Namaskar Abha ji. I congratulate you for this Golden Jubilee Spotlight with Abha program. I am very much lucky that I am with you, and as a teacher, I am your colleague only. And today, I am very much happy that our department, Lifelong Learning and Extension, we are working at grassroots level, and a channel like you, you took care about us, and I'm more interested to tell about the activities, programs, and the work of my colleague teachers at working at grassroots level in not only in Mumbai but in Palghar, Thane, Raigad, Ratnagiri, Sindhudurga, where around 800 plus affiliated colleges of University of Mumbai are there, and in that, out of that, around 314 colleges with 1,000 college teachers. I'm talking about only degree college, and with 34,786 students volunteers. They are working, they are getting some additional knowledge because many people don't know about these activities, like NSS, National Service Scheme, like a NCC, like a sports, like a cultural activities. This is the additional activity which is started in University of Mumbai in 1978. This is a activity introduced by University Grant Commission in around more than 80 colleges, 80 universities in India, and out of that 8 universities are from Maharashtra. And what is this extension? It is a third vision of University Grant Commission. Many of you know about the University Grant Commission, Vidyapit Anudan Ayog. So first is teaching, research, and then extension. Simple thing is there. Whatever the teachers are teaching us, whatever teachers are guiding us to do research, and that research, that teaching, and we are learning all these activities in the campus. Very few activities in the out of campus. But whatever knowledge we are earning or we are gaining through teachers, we have to give it back to the society, means
Very true.
lab to land. That is a main, what we can say, arc of this extension activity, Vistar. In Maharashtra, if you seen, the extension officer, education extension officer, animal husbandry extension officer, health extension officer, these are the agriculture extension officer, these are the different extension Vistar Karya we are saying. Whatever we are getting, we have to give back to the society, because all these higher education institutions, all these colleges and the junior colleges, all set up is not only the government contribution, it's the contribution of the society also. Many
Very true.
stalwart, rich people, they donated big amount to develop the schools and colleges. Why? Because these students, today's students, are tomorrow asset of our country. And
Very true.
because of that only, we are on the top in teaching and in student also, in student field both. Teachers very much demanded, other than the Indian India, the other USA or UK or Australia. Our many teachers are teaching there. Our students are in demand. That's why you see in the advertisement in newspaper or in social media, there are few countries, for 5 6 countries, they are giving advertisement in Indian newspaper, because Indian education system having some value base. So value education.
Very true, Dilip ji.
Yeah.
I totally
Yes.
agree with you. Yes, that India's teachers, the way they teach, the way they nurture today's generation, the upcoming generation who are going to be future responsible citizens of the country. So the way they nurture, I think in the whole world, no other country having such teachers. So before we proceed further, friends, let me introduce some other parts in which Dilip Patil sir is excelling. So let me start from his education. Dr. Patil is double graduate in art with economics, political science, and rural development. He completed his post-graduation MA and PhD in rural development from Mani Bhavan Gandhi Sangrahalaya, Mumbai. 7 teachers awarded PhD and 4 are doing PhD under his guidance. Wow. 10 college teachers have completed MPhil and 15 students have completed MA by research under his guidance in the subject of rural development. He works as a resource person for UG's refresher and orientation course for last 12 years. For the last 31 years, he is teaching rural development, community development, and Panchayati Raj local self-government subjects. 14 years as lecturer at St. Gonzalo Garcia College, Vasai. 3 years at St. Joseph College, Virar as a principal. And since last 12 years, he is a director in the Department of Lifelong Learning and Extension, University of Mumbai. He is author of 10 books on rural development for degree college students. Dr. Patil is working as an observer for Government of India, University Grant Commission, National Eligibility Test, and Bhabha Atomic Research Center, Young Scientist Exam. He is member of various advisory committees in Mumbai Municipal Corporation, various universities in India. Last 12 years, peer team member of National Accreditation Assessment Committee. He is honorable member of Rotary Club of Thane and Kolhapur. He worked as a visiting professor in the Catholic University of Eastern Africa, Nairobi in Kenya. In 2004, as the ambassador of goodwill under Rotary International Foundation, Washington, D.C., USA. He is counted as among 10 best teachers in the world. He represented India in 10 international conferences at New Zealand, Hong Kong, Thailand, Singapore, Israel, Malaysia, England, South Africa, Kenya, and USA. As a coordinator for Member of Parliament, Government of India, in Sansad Adarsh Gram Yojana, he mobilized rupees 3 crore funds on water harvesting and irrigation, rural roads and sanitation, education, sports and village Sonavade, Taluka Shauwadi of Kolhapur district in the years 2015 and 16. So friends, the list is unending. Dr. Dilip Patil has done a lot of ventures which can't be covered in few words and in few minutes. It's just like showing torch to the sun. So, Dr. Dilip ji, before we deep dive into your career and work, I would like to share, I would like you to share your story from the beginning. I mean, how was your childhood? How was your life as a child?
Thank you very much. As I born in middle class family, my father was in Indian Army because we are having a tradition. My native place Kolhapur, in this Kolhapur district, my native village is Sonavde, just below the Panhala Fort. So we are having a long tradition of hundreds of years as a warrior, and basically we are the farmers. And my father was in Second World War, 62 Indochina, 65 Indo-Pak, and I lost my real uncle in 71 Bangladesh War, Indo-Pak for Bangladesh. And this is from my father's side. From mother's side, my grandfather, my grandfather, my two uncle, all are from Indian Army. That is the Maratha Light Infantry. Maratha Light Infantry is an infantry won the highest award in Indian Army. They are always at the front. So that's why they are always at the front. सबसे आगे रहते हैं, इसीलिए उनमें ज्यादा शहीद रहते हैं, क्योंकि फर्स्ट अटैक enemy comes on them, and they don't have any vehicle, they don't have any type, they have to walk on their own feet for kilometers and kilometers. They have to walk. So that is a Maratha Light Infantry. So that is the Belgaum headquarter. So I born in Mumbai only because my father transfer was there from Kolhapur, Belgaum, then so many parts of India as a army man. And he was a Subedar Major when he retired in 1973. So I studied in King George School, Raja Shivaji Vidyalaya. Then I was in NCC, National Cadet Corps, Naval Wing. Then because of NCC is very much important in each student life, because this NCC, they taught us about the discipline, how to walk. You can easily find out the NCC cadet from the general students that by his walking. No, because they are doing practice for several years, and there is a self-discipline, giving respect to women. So like these are the small things, but it works on their entire life. That is important. And during this college life, during the students life in school, I was in Raja Shivaji Vidyalaya Hindu Colony. I completed my SSC from there, and then I took admission in Ruya College, Matunga, Mumbai only. And there also I joined a senior division Naval Wing NCC at Jain College in Churchgate. So around 6 years I completed along with my schools and graduation NCC National Cadet Corps, because I am having background of army and military background, and my mother from her both the sides, ससुराल और मायका पूरा आर्मी में ही था. So because of that I always win the dress code we are having turnout prize. Everybody is talking how you are getting turnout prize. Every year I am getting continuous 6 years, because the Naval Wing white uniform, and my mother knows about how to maintain that uniform, because she maintained her grandfather, father, brother and her husband, and now she prepared for me. So from polish to hat, she knows about how to maintain that, and that's why I won that prizes. That is the basic thing. Yes, and because of that, naturally, one type of discipline comes in our home also. Even simple paper we have to keep on table, how to keep it, like that.
I totally agree. I totally agree with you, because I am myself was an NCC student in Army Wing, and now I can understand that discipline thing, why it is so much there in me and why it is there in my house. So thank you for enlightening that.
Yeah, that's why I'm insisting that each and every student, college or school student, they should learn all these things. And naturally, after that, it impact on my academic also. I'm not that much high grade I received, but with because of these activities, I got the developed leadership quality in me. And when I went to degree college in Ruya College only, I fought election for a student representative. Then how to talk with teachers, how to solve the problems of students. Then I was a general secretary of student council, elected unopposed in 1981, 80, 82, 82, 81, 82, that academic year. So that basic things I came from both the side, my parental and my mother and my father side, and then slowly I developed these qualities, and naturally always thinking of others. My mother and father, I observed that they're thinking of others, other first. So then I started. I was in NSS also. Then in 1983, when I graduated, we started one NGO, that is the Nirmit Youth Foundation, as an ex-NSS voluntary organization. And each one of our college students, even yourself also, you can share that you are having a group of 2, 3, 4, 5 people, your friends of college life. Even now also you are connected
Yes,
with
yes.
so that time we don't have mobile and other things, so it was difficult to connect each other. But even though we are meeting on time, now we don't have, we are having mobile, but meeting on time is not very
Time
difficult.
management is lost.
Yes, time management was lost, even though we are having all equipment in our hand
Very true,
about
very true.
minute to others. And that time no mobile, even though we fix one place, then we are meeting. So we think that our my godfather, Principal R.R. Sahu Raja of Podar College, he developed us a group of students. Then he told, okay, you we went to him and we told him that we want to do something social work for others. Then he told, okay, instead of doing social work in urban area, there are number of NGOs and number of people are doing good work, no doubt about that, but where actually more need in rural area, so you start going there. So we went to Chandip village near Vajreshwari from Virar. It is around 12-13 kilometers from Virar station. Is the last station of local train in Mumbai, Palghar district. So we started to visit that village. And I like that village people and open mindedness. And we started, because of we are from the educational background and we are having teachers behind us. So we started educational projects in that small village. Small school we adopted, small village we adopted, and we started the work. We started to implement various government schemes because we want to share our knowledge to the community. Whatever we earn, by way of knowledge, we share that. So we started work and slowly it develops. But our members are around not more than 50 or 60, and actually working members are only around 10. But even though the work is going on, that is important, because last 40 years we are continuing that projects, and that is mainly we are implemented various government schemes for the tribals, for those who are in below poverty line. Because you agree with me that government funds, government policies, that is our money, and we have to spend that. We have to coordinate that programs. Otherwise, what NGOs, majority NGOs are doing, collecting funds and implementing program. I feel why unnecessary we have to collect funds from others. Whatever funds are there in the government programs with the government, that is our money. We paid by taxes, and that's why we have to implement. And we are always talking about the corruption and so many things. Here, if we coordinate the activities, naturally the bad practice people will go away. They will not come in our
Absolutely agree with you. Yes.
that is the one thing we started and we implemented. With that, in 1984 to 90, I got a fellowship from the Jamnalal Bajaj Foundation, Youth Fellowship. They are giving youth fellowship for those youth. They selected youth, those who are working at grassroots level, at village level, and they are giving some amount of money. Monthly, they are giving something 1,000 rupees or 1,500 like that. So they started. So that it was very much helpful for me during that time, and slowly I developed few projects, government projects only, implementing, meeting collectors, meeting chief executive officer of Jilla Parishad, block development officer, taluka officers, to avoid political leaders. And with the actually machinery, government machinery, we started implementing with the community, because compared to government officer, we are having good rapport with these community people, because I stay in the tribals huts. I ate with them, so they are very happy, because we are telling, we are looking, no, they are poor people. How we can like that? We don't want to drink water with them. Then they will not come to you. If you started staying with them, talking with them, eating with them, naturally the whatever your ideas you want to implement for them, they're easily accessible, and they're easily happy to implement that. So with that, we started to develop two Balwadis on different padas, Tabale Pada and Dongar Pada. Then we form a group of Women Development Center. And in that center, we gave them economical activities to develop their standard of living, particularly for those women, they are widows. They are single parents, families are there. So we started to give them occupation through their community work. And whatever we develop the projects, they are also happy. They are going to getting money. And suppose for we start the women, majority of women, they know about the catering. So I'm talking in 1989 catering. So I told them, okay, it is need not to teach you how to cook. They know. So we added the utensils and the other material, and they took orders from the urban area, Vasai, Virar cities. And even in village also, because our religion says, all religions, from birth to death, you have to feed the community. So that is the catering business is the best business. So whatever equipment and other utensils, they are giving on a higher basis. There are out of 125, there are 4-5 widows. They are going for the cooking the food. So they are getting job. So like that, slowly we started that. Then we about the what they are actually having, that type of program we started. For example, already they know the how to about poultry. They are having that poultry, how to develop. They know, but just we added some good variety breeds in the this poultry. They are getting more eggs. Rhode Island Red RIR breed we introduced there. With all this is with the government program. They are having that. We purchased from the Panvel, we gave them and then distributed among their villages. Even though they want to give eggs, to sell eggs, they will get money by selling eggs. And even though they unable to sell, then we are purchasing them and giving that eggs, boiled eggs to our Balwadi children. So that also is linked with our Balwadi educational project, linked with this women development projects. And like that, we started with the beekeeping. One spoon of honey and one boiled egg is good enough for that child.
Enough, yes.
Yes. So these are the very small thing. We don't have to rely on the government. We can give, and all these things they knows very well. And I don't want to say that how much is important in honey and about the egg, boiled egg. Yeah. And if that we give and that develop, so naturally we get result about their sickness, then monthly and weekly health checkup. So there are number of projects, because whenever we start want to do social work, that is okay. But at the same time, how it that work will sustain, we have to develop few volunteers among that community only, and we have to give them a job type of work, and we have to fulfill the marketing of that product. Like that, we small things we develop in that area. And one thing we kept, that we never put any board. Or suppose people are asking us, okay, we are, you please take us there to show your work. No, we are telling them, go and find out, ask in any house what type of work you're doing. Now they are complaining, the women are complaining. Now these people are not coming in our village because we shifted to another area. We kept it like that only, because then only they can develop. Otherwise, there are number of NGOs are there. They are taking last 25 years. We are doing development work. Their sentence shows that no development. Last 25 years, they are doing development work. What is development? So like that, we have to control ourselves. No, they also, their two hands, they can work, and they started their own.
So
now they are doing very well.
And you have shown the way there, and shown the how to cook, and now they are cooking themselves and they are developing themselves on their own. So that is really wonderful, right. Dilip ji, you are doing a great work, and this is really surprising that like many others I have seen, that when they do such kind of social work, they do a lot of propaganda and they do a lot of promotions, and they want their pictures to come in newspaper and all. But it is so humble on your part, so kind on your part, that you don't want to show the world that I'm doing something. Let world see what I'm doing. So that's really, really great. And that this actually, creates a curiosity in me, that I think because of all these NGO work which you have started through NCC and NSS, right? From there, I think it has motivated you for taking further education in rural development. I am seeing that you have graduation and post-graduation done in rural development as a subject. So why, this particular subject you have opted for?
See, actually, whatever work I told you, that is not only by me. It is we are having a team.
Yes.
Team of 10 people, 15 people. They are busy in their own work, and because of I have completed my graduation and I was having time during that period, so I spend more time there. But support from all. And our principal R.R. Sahuraja, who worked for MD College Mumbai as an economics teacher, then he was a HOD of economics department Ruja College, and then he was a principal for 12 years in Podar College, and then he last 18 years he worked for Wellington Institute of Management as a chief mentor, Professor Emirates. He is having around 40 books. He don't have PhD, but he wrote around 40 books. And many thousands of students and so many people all over the world whom he taught. So that is important. And about the rural development, because of this work, I'm having background of rural family as a farmer in my place. And then he's seen this in me, that this boy will do something good for society. And into 1984, he took me to Manibhavan Gandhi Sangrahalaya. First time I visit that. That is a residence of Mahatma Gandhi, situated near Girgaon Chowpatty. That is Manibhavan Gandhi Sangrahalaya. And there is a Institute of Gandhian Thoughts and Rural Development. That time director was Dr. Aluben Dastur, stalwarts in political science, and Dr. Usha Mehta, well-known freedom fighter, who run underground Akashvani Kendra during the freedom movement. So, and Mr. V.S. Page, who started Employment Guarantee Scheme, father of Employment Guarantee Scheme. So, all these people are there. And with them, I spent lot of time with them during my education of MA, 84 to 86, while I was working. And 1 or 2 days we are having lectures. So, a lot of time. So naturally, impact of this type of people is very much important. very positive energy we are getting from Manibhavan Gandhi Sangrahalaya. Whenever if you visit Mumbai, you have to visit that Manibhavan Gandhi Sangrahalaya near Nana Chowk. Those who are coming to visit on official tour from all over the world, the president of that country, they visited this Manibhavan Gandhi Sangrahalaya, and now also they even Barack Obama with Michelle, he visited, then he sent a gift to Manibhavan Gandhi Sangrahalaya. I don't want to go more about that, but it's very beautiful and is a good place to see the actual belongings of Mahatma Gandhi kept it there. Good library, the people from all over the world to come for references in that Manibhavan Gandhi Sangrahalaya. So rural development started in 1984 with the help of that time Vice Chancellor Ram Joshi, well-known professor in economics. They introduced this subject, and I'm lucky to took admission for first batch of Masters of Arts in Rural Development, and we passed out in 86. And by work was going on, and after that I'm having the experience at field level and getting theory. So theory and practical comes together. It is very rare thing. There are you told there are people are very less those who don't want to publicize their work, social work, but I am very much confident there are hundreds of people in India and thousands of people in world. They are working calm and quietly at grassroots level. Even now also, they don't want publicity. Because why they want publicity? Whatever for their satisfaction and for the betterment of community they are working. So ऐसा बहुत hundreds लोग हैं जो काम कर रहे हैं लेकिन कुछ advertisement नहीं कर रहे हैं. So after Manibhavan 86 pass out, my work was going on. 89 I joined as a Ruya College as a clock hour basis lecturer in rural development, because impact was there. If you are having a field experience, so field, nobody can deny the field experience statements, because that is based on the field experience, not based on the books. And I am getting that experience. And in 1990, Saint Gonzalo Garcia Vasai, they started rural development paper for TYBA, and they invited me to please come there and join. So many people told me don't join as a lecturership. That is a routine job. We don't want to lose a volunteer at grassroots level. But I seen that college in Vasai Taluka, my work was in Vasai Taluka. Only thing at it's around 30-40 kilometers, because that is in hilly area. My work in hilly area, and this is near the sea, that Vasai college. And then I started, but it was good that whatever I am teaching, I am getting experience at grassroots level, and like that combination of both. And I don't know how, when I develop myself by doing all this teaching as well as implementing, because now government and universities and schools are introducing the internship. Means students, those want to complete for graduation for 6 semester, 1 semester they have to work. Means now the people also know there is no use of bookish knowledge. There should be practical knowledge, hands-on experience. If our hands are not experiencing, we don't know anything about the work, only the bookish knowledge, and our system is like that. So they are not getting jobs. That is also important thing. To get job, to start a business, you need to work anything, whatever you are liking. And that experience, I was there for 14 years, and then 3 years I was principal. Whatever I implemented at department level in one department in one college, that I received a opportunity to implement at college level. And even now in 2004 to 6, I work as a principal, and 2020 now, how many years you can count, around 14 to 16 years, my that college teachers are waiting for me. No, sir, we want principal like you, even now also. So that is also one success stories we can say about the how we develop the things with the teachers. Because now my godfather is always saying, Principal Sauraja, India needs good teacher, and India needs good teachers. That is important. Because okay, teaching is there, but good teacher is very much important, because you are also teacher teaching in school, and whatever the we are not like working like a factory, but whatever raw material we are coming there in a 50 number of school children are there, 100 eyes are towards us, what we are telling, how we behave, what we talk, so many they observe that. They're not telling single word, no reaction from them, but they are very much sure, and they went to home and telling their mother and father, our teacher said like this is right.
Absolutely.